Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Let's Talk Business once again. And before starting, I want to wish you a very happy new year and wish you all great success in 2019. Today, we are going to discuss about the Learner Market's target operating model. And this is the program which Learner Market is running in order to upgrade themselves and to be more prepared for the future challenges. And within this program, they are running a lot of different projects which will make them more modernized and which will help them to modernize their existing processes. So we will discuss about LM Tom in this session, and the objective of this session is to set the context on which we will discuss our further other projects which is under the Tom program. So before we start, let's see what we have discussed so far. So far we have discussed the introduction, Lloyd's of London and London Market, and then we also discuss about the various business processes which is within the Lloyd's of London, IUA and LAMA. Then we have also discussed about the London Bureau Market messages, and within the message we have covered quite a lot. We have covered London market structure, history and overview, message type, accord for all, infrastructure related stuff, XAG, XDH, TMEL, individual messages, and then we discuss about the business process with upfront premium, business processes with dealing premium, and then we also discuss about the London Bureau Market claim processes and along with accord and Rushley messages. And in our last session, we discuss about the class system, ECF and ECF write back system. So as we planned in this session, we are going to discuss about London Market target operating model introduction. For those who are new to my channel, I'm Ravi Shankar. I'm having more than 14 years of experience in business analysis, and I'm largely associated with P&C or general insurance domain. And currently I'm working within the London market. And if you have any query related to this presentation or any past presentation, you can drop me an email at ravi.s.sharma@hotmail.com, or you can also connect me at my LinkedIn profile, which is linkedin.com/in/Ravi S. Sharma. So let's begin. Let's begin about the target operating model overview. So before starting the target operating model, we have to understand why Tom, why the LMA need Tom program. As you can see over here, the London market is the largest global center for commercial and specialty risk, and it in great position of strength. And why they are in great position of strength? Because ongoing investment in making the market more accessible and effective. They have a great financial rating supporting their position in the global insurance and reinsurance market, and they have a collective focus and vision to stay on top of it always. So despite of having all this positive thing about the London market, but the London market is also facing heavy challenges from different markets, and LMA want to address those challenges. Let's have a close look. What are those challenges? So one of the challenges increasing retention of risk, high growth developing market. So London market, because of its existing process, sometimes it is difficult for them to retain the risk what they have already written or holding. And then they also having a higher acquisition cost, which make London market more expensive because of its existing processes. And then they have a very old inflexible business services model that is insufficient and slow to change, and reducing the London's competitive advantages as compared to the rest of the market. So these are the few fundamental challenges, and LMA want to address these challenges, and that's the reason they want to have a Tom in place so that they can address these challenges and stay on top of the global insurance and reinsurance marketplace. So what happened, in order to address those challenges during the year 2014, the LMG, which is London Market Group commissioned a consulting firm called BCG to produce a report which is looking at the competitive position of London market across the world. So they have assigned this task to BCG to understand where the London markets stand and what is their competitive advantage as compared to the other marketplace around the world. So what BCG did, the BCG produced a report called London Matters after performing a detailed analysis on the London market, and its aim was to provide a comprehensive overview of the London insurance market position in global commercial insurance and reinsurance. They did a tremendous job in terms of identifying where the London markets stand, what is their competitive advantages or disadvantages, and they produce a report called London Matters. So, so there are many findings in the report, but one of the key and critical suggestion from the London Matter report is to modernize the existing business processes in Lloyd's of London insurance market. And because Lloyd's of London, being an old insurance market, got a lot of processes which is very old and may not be competitive enough, as compared to the current business processes. So they have suggested in their report, the Boston Consulting Group suggested in their report that they need to modernize their existing business processes to stay competitive in the market. Now, this report, the London Market Report, identified the London market need to improve the way in which the business is transacted in London, and specifically to reduce the cost by delivering the infrastructure activities, removing London specific processes. So as I said earlier, London market is very old market, and they have their own very specific business process, sometimes referred as a Londonism. So these very specific processes sometimes make it difficult for the others to do business in London market. So they wanted to simplify these processes. So as a result, the LMG and the Lloyd's Franchisee Board agree to propose the TOM in April 2015. So what happened within the TOM? The discovery phase started in Q3 of 2015 to put more detail about the proposal around TOM program. And the discovery phase was followed by market consultation phase in Q4 of 2015. And the aim was this phase to promote awareness and seek market feedback for the TOM program. And after taking the feedback in Q1 of 2016, the LMG and Lloyd's Franchisee Board analyzed the report deeply, and then they have set the priorities, the implementation priorities under the TOM program. So this was the brief background about in what circumstances the LMG and Lloyd's Franchisee Board decided to initiate the program like a TOM. So before getting into the detail, first we have to understand what is the mission, vision, and goal of TOM program. So the LM-TOM vision is to build and maintain the London's position as a global center of commercial insurance and reinsurance. That is their vision. And their mission is to make it easier to do business with London market by making it more accessible. And the goal is broadly classified into two broad categories. One is one-touch data capture, and the other one is enhanced shares central services. So as we all know, the one of the fundamental building block of insurance is to have the clear data, which can give you a single face of truth. So the data really matters. So what happened within the one-touch data capture? The broker and carrier will enter data only once, which will help to reduce the risk of error and costly rework caused by entering data multiple times in multiple format. So they really want to see that they are capturing the quality data at one touch, and they want to reuse this data again and again so that they can maintain the quality of data, which will be error free. And the second important thing is enhance the shared services. So centralizing the market collaborative task and increasing efficiency and and consistency by avoiding duplication of work. So they want to maintain and they want to build a shared services on which they can able to do business very efficiently, so that they can avoid duplication of work, and by virtue of that they can reduce the cost of doing business within the London market. Going forward, some of the key elements of TOM are, as we said earlier, the better data, bring efficiencies and clarity to the market, enhance the central services, promoting consistent standard and avoiding duplication of work, real progress toward the end goal of one-touch data capture and straight-through processing. So if they have a one-touch data capture, they can really able to achieve the straight-through processing in terms of accepting the risk, evaluating the risk, binding the risk, or even doing the endorsements and claim. So they really want to achieve this. And there are a couple of solutions developed in close collaboration with London market. After doing the due diligence in London market, the solutions are designed to replace the administrative paper-based process with more efficient and transparent system, while retaining the expertise and face-to-face relationship that London market is respected for. So I'm sure you must be aware that London market, you can able to do a business by having a face-to-face discussion with the underwriter. That is one of their USP, where the broker and the underwriter do the business sitting face to face. So they don't want to touch this uniqueness. So they wanted to build something on top of it. So in order to stay competitive in the marketplace, in the global marketplace. What are the key projects which they initiated under the term program? And in this session, I will just give you the overview about this key project. But in the next sessions, I will take individual project and I will start discussing about what this individual project is all about. So the first project is about the Placing Platform Limited, which we call as a PPL, and the second was about the Structured Data Capture (SDC), Central Service Refresh Program, Delegate Authority, and Data Integration. If you observe that all these initiatives are actually toward having the better data in place, so that they can take a better business decision and reduce the frictional cost of sending data between two different disparate systems. So going forward, what is PPL? I just wanted to give you an overview about the PPL. And as I said earlier, we will discuss PPL in our next session. What are the key elements of PPL, and what is the business value of PPL, and what sort of business value PPL is trying to bring into the entire process. So PPL stand for Placing Platform Limited. It's a limited company set up by LMA, IUA, and LIIBA to identify and source a single market solution for electronic placing. So PPL, as the name suggests, is a placing platform where people can able to do or place risk electronically. I'm sorry, let's go back. So it is an electronic placement platform which enable broker and insurer to quote, negotiate, bind, and endorse business digitally. So their vision is to move toward the digital way of doing business. But as I said, they still wanted to retain the market core competency, which is having the interaction face to face with the underwriters. So, but they still wanted to have a digital way of doing business so that they can interact with the other market across the globe. The third important element of the PPL is risk can be placed electronically to support face-to-face negotiation, removing the paper from the process and creating a digital information flow and audit trail. This is what I said just now. They don't want to take out the face-to-face negotiation. What they want to do is they want to build something on top of it, so that they can retain the essence of the market, the uniqueness of the market. So the PPL is all about making a platform where they can place the risk electronically, they can transact the risk electronically. Going forward, we have a structured data capture. Now, structured data capture is online service that convert the content of MRC, market reform contract, MRCE, market reform contract for endorsement, binding authority contract, line slips, and master policy into a consistent electronic data in line with Accord standard. Further document types such as code, schedule, endorsement are also being considered for inclusion in the service. So in nutshell, what is happening, the structured data capture is a service which will enable the MRC content to be get converted into a digital information. For example, so if you recall, the MRC is a document where you have all the risk information placed in a structured way, and this is a document which underwriter refer before binding the risk or before accepting the risk. So this is one of the key document, and it is essential to bring the data from this key document into the digital form so that the underwriter can able to evaluate this data in a digital way rather than evaluating the data on the paper. So so this service provide the functionality which will automatically convert the data from MRC, EMRC, binding authority, contract, line slip, or master policies into a digital form. So as I said earlier, we will discuss structured data later on in a greater detail. Then we have a central service refresh program, and let's see what is there in the central service refresh program. The main aim of central service refresh program is to make it easier to do business in London market and enable improvement and acceptance, capture and storage of more consistent, richer risk and claim data. Some of the key ideas behind the CSRP is remove the London specific back office process, which also called as a Londonism, to make it accessible across the globe. And the second important thing is replace the old technology and process with new one, like adoption of widely accepted accord messages to deliver information using acceptable global standards. Now, one of the key thing around this accord message I wanted to share. So as we know, the accord messages are the global standard to exchange the information between the systems. So London market also wanted to accept this accord message in order to transact the business. Earlier, they are using the EDI messages to transact, which they initiated under the Limnet program. But they felt like they have to change this process and they want to adopt the accord messages. For your information, within the London, the Accord program, what they're using is called as the Accord GRLC. GRLC stands for Global Reinsurance and Large Commercial. So within the London, they are following the Accord GRLC message standards. So the current phase of CSRP is termed as the post-bind submission (PBS), which enable broker to submit premium, claim movement, and claim collection automatically from their own system in in a consistent format that is in line with the global insurance messaging standard ACORD, EBOT, and ECORD, which is electronically back office transaction and electronic claim office transaction, EBOT and ECORD. So they wanted to go into the ACORD messaging standard so that they can have a, a globally accepted message standard to do business with the other insurance company across the globe or other client across the globe. So we will discuss about CSRP in greater detail in our futuristic presentations. Now, next project, which is called Delegate Authority, DA-SETS. Well, DA-SETS stand for Delegate Authority Submission Access Transformation Services, DSET. System should give a managing agent and cover holder a consistent platform to send and receive information. Well, if you don't know about the managing agent and cover holder, uh, I will encourage you to go back to my previous slides and have information about the managing agent and cover holder. For the sake of simplicity, let me tell you the managing agent are those who manages syndicate, and these people, the managing agent, they give a delegate authority to cover holder to transact business on their behalf. So the cover holders are people who represent managing agent into various geographies. So the problem was the sense of the standardization of data. It is very difficult, for cover holder or managing agent to understand the information because the data format was not straightforward, and there's a lot of misassumptions. So they want to remove this kind of a challenges. So they initiated the DA-SATs, which will help cover holder to send the information in a standard way to managing agents. And then the last but not the least, the data integration. So the data integration, or DI, is another initiative under the LM-TOM program, which help to make information access seamless across the market through common data standard. So in order to in order to be on the same page, in order to understand the same information, they must have the market must have a common data standard, and data integration is an initiative which will bring the standardization in the information, so that everybody can understand what everybody is talking about, to be on the same page. So these are the some of the key project within the term program. And as I said earlier, we will discuss individual project in a greater detail. The objective of this session is to set up the context of our future sessions. So that's all from this quick session, and I hope you like this session. If you have any query about this session or LMTOM, feel free to drop me an email. I'll try to respond to you. And if you want to have more information about the LMTOM, you can go to the LMTOM official website, and you can have a lot of useful information over there to make yourself aware about what are the various elements within the TOM program. Well, that's all from my side this time, and have a good day and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye and take care.